never done this before, so let's get started. Got my finals first thing tomorrow, so I'm just gonna listen to this on my way to uni. Over. Let's get started. This is lecture 11, microbiology, selected eukaryotic members. Okay, so first, the selected members of eukaryotes that we will be talking about is gonna be fungi, yeast, the yeast version of fungi, and then we got the moles version of fungi, and then protozoan. Okay, so for protozoan, we got like 3 versions that we're going to talk about. We got paramecium, I believe, the first thing. Then we got amoeba, and then we got euglena, right? Then we're going to talk about slime molds, cellular, and plasmoidal, sorry. Okay. Then we're gonna talk about algae and lichens. Okay. So let's start talking about fungi, yeast. Okay. So yeast was originally thought to be unicellular because it is asexual in nature. Sorry. It was thought out to be prokaryotes because it's asexual in nature and it's unicellular. Okay. It is unicellular, as we know. It is oval and it is larger than bacteria. It is often found as white powdery coating on fruits and leaves. Okay? Yeast reproduce by budding. Now let's talk a little bit about budding. In budding, the parent cell forms protuberance. Okay, I love this word, protuberance. You might ask like what this is. I know we're gonna keep it short, but like let's talk about it. Protuberance, like protruding, like, you know, protrude. When you talk about protrude, you know how you're just like lips that, like, it's like extending itself, right? So it's like that. Protuberance means like something like formation, like it's getting out of somewhere. So protuberance, as in like when I want you to imagine this, the parent cell protuberates, as in it extends itself to form the bud. So we're calling the protuberance a bud. Okay. So in budding, the parent cell forms a protuberance, aka bud, on its outer surface. As the bud elongates, the parent cell's nucleus divides. Okay, so it just like, okay, this is like perfect. This is a parent cell. This is the protuberance, aka the bud, and then, you know, it okay, I'm sorry, very inappropriate imagery. Parental discretion maintained, whatever. This happens and well, okay, then as the bud elongates, the parent cell's nucleus divides. Okay, after the elongation of the parents out, after the bud elongation, like the nucleus divides, and then one nucleus then like it like divides, and then it goes to like the other end, like one to the bud, one to the parent, right? And then the cell wall material is then laid down, broken down between the bud and the parent cell, and then the bud eventually breaks down. You get the idea, right? So it's like protuberance happens, elongates, and then, you know, the nucleus and then it goes to like 2 ends, and then the cell wall. The cell wall, it just like gets laid down, and yeah, it separates. So the bud eventually breaks away from the parent cell. So one yeast cell in a time like can produce, one yeast cell can in time produce up to 24 daughter cells by budding. So that means one yeast cell can give birth to 24 daughter cells. Anywho, I mean, wow. Anyway, then we got some yeasts produce buds that fail to detach themselves. Okay, so I want you to imagine this. Okay, no shade thrown. This is only for academic purposes, only so that you remember. So you know how like in American culture, like the teenager, like as soon as like they turn 18 or they're moving to like college, they just like sort of like move, right? We know that, right? And they don't stay with their parents no longer. But in brown households, we stay, right? Which is like really weird for them to think about, but it's not really weird for us. So I want you to think of that. And you know, like how we're still staying with our parents despite being like fully grown adults, aka me, but I'm not an adult, shut up. Some yeasts produce buds that fail to detach themselves, as in fail to move out. These buds, they form short chains of cells called pseudohyphae. Now, were you able to understand? It's like me as a brown kid, okay? I did not move out of my parents' place even after turning into like a full-grown ass adult, okay? So, and then I just decided to make chains. Yeah, that's what we're gonna go with. So this is called a pseudohyphae. Now I want you to imagine this chains. Okay, I'm just like literally coming up with these. Okay, I want you to imagine the pseudohyphae. Okay, the chain thing. Like imagine I'm living in like my parents' place, and I'm still, I have a business. Okay, with my parents' investment. Of making chains. So the business that I have is like half my parents, because like I don't know how business works. Don't come at me. Don't cancel me. But like, just like for the example, the thing, like my business is technically mine as well as my parents, because it's got their investment, but the idea was mine. So yeah, pseudohyphae is one part parent, one part daughter. Everything is separate. Okay, everything is separate. I got my own personality. I got my own life. I got my own jokes. I got my own failures and trauma. But like, anyway, whatever. But I still haven't moved out. I mean, technically, you know, if you're from the outside, we're still together. So the cell walls are still intact. That is pseudohyphae. So the cell walls are still intact. What? Sorry, oh my god, cell membrane. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Cell membrane is still intact. Not even the cell wall. Okay? Cell membrane is still intact. The rest is like, right? One part daughter, one part parent, and let me just say the thing again. Some yeast produce buds that fail to detach themselves. These buds form a short chain of cells called pseudohyphae. Okay, then we got fungi, molds. Now, we were talking about yeast right now, a little while ago. Now we're going to talk about molds. Now, let's talk about molds. Molds are multicellular. Most fungi are multicellular. So, most fungi are molds. I think I just made that up. They're heterotrophs. Now, if you remember from the lecture 9, which I haven't made up a video about, but hopefully I can like do it within this night, because finals. Okay, so heterotrophs are organisms which derive energy from carbon source. Okay, sweet pie, we got it. Okay, so heterotrophs are they do derive energy from like energy from carbon sources, but from like the reduced preformed organic molecules from other organisms. You get the idea. You do. Okay, so fungi, molds are heterotrophs, and why? Because they have like literally no photosynthetic pigments, aka like chlorophyll and shit. Okay, so oh my god, why did I write it? Ashia, who told you? No, I need a pen. I need a pen. Okay, so reduced. I'm just gonna write it. But anyway, let's get back. If you were wondering why I just like have my hair down, it's like 10 p.m. I get stressed and I just like start playing with my hair. But anyway, fungi molds. Molds are like multicellular heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are like carbon sources, reduced preformed organic molecules from other organisms, no photosynthetic pigment. Okay, so they're large multicellular fungi, aka like mushrooms. Period. You know mushrooms. Somewhat like plants can often carry out photosynthesis because they don't have the pigment. Then true fungi. You know, you have to like show patriotism towards your fungi, disgusting little creatures. But like whatever. Fungi, true fungi have chitin cell walls. Bacteria has peptidoglycan. Oh my god, that was the first time I said it so like smoothly. But anyway, bacteria have like peptidoglycan cell walls, and fungi they have chitin cell walls. We got cellulose cell walls. Period. Even plants got like cellulose cell walls. Okay. The most typical fungi are molds. Like, did I not say that like the first thing? But anyway, molds form visible masses called mycelia. So that means, does that mean like whatever we see, like whatever kind of fungus we can see are called mycelia? You know, they're talking about mycelia, and I can only imagine that like episode 2 from like Hannibal, like first season. You know that? Yeah, I recently watched it. No. Okay. Then we got molds form visible masses called mycelia, which are composed of long filaments called hyphae that branch and intertwine. Boy, this is like super important. The long filaments are called hyphae. Like hyphae. Hyphae. Okay? The cottony growth are sometimes found on bread and on wet walls. Like both of the like just like makes me want to gag. But anyway, hyphae has to be it looks like tree branches. Make sure that you know your teacher loves like a lot of diagrams and shit. Okay? Make sure it's just like draw tree branches. And like an electron microscope. You still gotta see it with the electron microscope, bro. Anyway, then we got protozoans. Protozoans. Okay, now let's talk about protozoans. Protozoans, we're going to talk about 3 kinds of protozoans. If you remember, Paramecium, Amoeba, Euglena. Euglena. Oh, that sounds like such a European name to say. Only if it weren't for microorganisms. But anyway, let's talk about just like general protozoans. Mostly prokaryotes. I don't know how much of this is true. Don't come for me. This video is for self-revision purposes only, as you can see. I mean, no self-respecting YouTuber will ever make this for the public. So the only reason it's public is because I tend to like forget my email addresses, and I can just like watch it later. But anyway, protozoa. They're mostly prokaryotic. Protozoars are unicellular, eukaryotic, chemoheterotrophic organisms. Now let's talk about chemoheterotrophic organisms, because of course we're gonna revise lecture 9 while we're at it. Okay, while we're at it. Shut up. Okay, so what are chemotrophs? Chemotrophs are so their energy source are their energy source is energy source. Like, girl, I don't even know. Okay, their energy source is energy source. The chemotrophs derive energy from oxidation of organic or inorganic compounds. This is the only one which does the oxidation. Okay, the others they usually do like the reduction. Anyway, chemotrophs do like the oxidation of inorganic and organic compounds. So heterochemotrophs, which are protozoans in general, they derive energy from the reduced preformed organic molecules from other organisms and oxidation of organic or inorganic compounds. Anyway, okay, so some of them are parasitic, like, okay, we're still talking about protozoans. So protozoans are, some of them are like parasitic, some of them are free living. Oh, okay, where is this accent coming from? Okay, then protozoans inhibit water. Inhibit means like, I know it sounds like inhibit, but I'm saying inhabit. Okay, inhibit water and soil. Now we're gonna talk in an accent because like that's what I'm feeling like it. Okay, I'm in coffee, and you know I like my coffee with Gatorade. I've had like litter. Okay, like actually broke. Like complete litter. Anyway, then we got trophozoid. Okay, so protozoans, they got something called protozoid. Now, protozoid are the feeding and growing stage that feeds upon bacteria and small particulate neutrons. Okay, now, I had this question here that I really did not address. I feel like, I'm just gonna like ask myself this question. I'm gonna Google it later and just like comment it on myself. So, YouTube thinks I got algorithm. I don't know how that works, but like, period. Anyway, what is up with me today? Period. Are protozoans prokaryotic or eukaryotic? I don't know. Okay. So trophozoid are feeding and growing stage of protozoan, where they feed upon bacteria and small particulate nutrients. And another thing, amoeba and yeast are considered prehistoric organisms. Now, let's talk about amoeba. I don't know why I like it. It's like amoeba, because like it moves like that, and that's like the first thing that we all pretty much studied in biology. I never thought biology. I say biology. I don't know where I caught it from, but like it's low-key interesting that I talk like that. Anyway, amoeba. We know all what amoeba is. Like, shut up if you don't even know what that is. So we're just gonna talk about Entamoeba histolica. Make sure to underline it when you're like writing it, and when you're writing it, underline it, and when you're typing it, italicize it. But anyway, Entamoeba histolica is an anaerobic parasite amoebozoan that is the only pathogenic amoeba found in human intestine. Now, this is the only amoeba that can survive and infect the GI tract of human. Now, GI tract is gastrointestinal tract. Now, like the infecting of Entamoeba histolica in like the GI tract of like human beings, the human beings, is called amoebiasis. Like amoebaios. And that was really nice. Okay, so the active trophozoid, remember trophozoid? Okay, so trophozoid is going to be talked about in amoeba because amoeba is a protozoa. Get it? Okay, the trophozoid, the active trophozoid stage exists only in the host and in the fresh loose poop. I'm not gonna say species, like I'm not some kind of animal, okay? Poop! So, active protozoid stage only exists in host and poop, and cysts survive outside host in water, soils, food, especially under moist conditions on the latter. Okay, for food, I think it's the moist condition. Okay, then we got. Oh no, we still haven't finished amoeba. Now we're gonna talk about like the stuff that we pretty much studied in like 6th grade. Now for 6th grade, amoebas move by extending blunt, low blood projections of cytoplasm called pseudopods. Do you remember pseudopods? Yes. Now a little disclaimer of what we talked about. Pseudopods and pseudohyphae, not the same thing. What are pseudohyphae? Pseudohyphae was, I feel like I'm just confusing myself right now. But like, what, let's just get it over. Pseudohyphae was related to yeasts. It was like the non-moving out situation of like brown kids. Of course, American kids do that too. Like Asian kids and like all cultures and like ethnicity, but like it's easier for me to say brown because hello, I'm brown. But anyway, So pseudohyphae was like the not moving on situation, whereas pseudopod is the fake limb. I just had a really bad joke in my mind. I'm not gonna say it. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. But anyway, any number of pseudopods can flow from one side of the amoeba to the rest of the cell, and the rest of the cell will flow towards the pseudopod. Get it? So like the pseudopod is gonna lead the cell. Get it? So phagocytosis, feeding system. Duh. Remember phagocytosis? Yes, sir. But anyway, pseudopods do like the whole point of pseudopods is to do like phagocytosis, so they can like feed and like like, so what happens is like they got like pseudopods here. They take the vacuole, like food, and put it in a vacuole, and like a food vacuole, and then lysosome comes. It's an enzyme, we know. Lysosome comes, it chops down the food, and then peroxisome comes and it digests the food. Get it? Yes, you do, my love. And then we got paramecium. Now, paramecium is another. Wow, why does it sound British? But anyway, paramecium, it is another kind of protozoa, right? So, how is it like a different protozoa? This is a ciliate protozoa. Now, if you remember, ciliate from lecture 6, I think. Anyway, ciliate are like cells which got like cilia. Get it? So, ciliate. Shut up. Why are you just like saying? That way we can recognize parameciums is the fact that they have ciliate. Okay? The paramecium is a genus of ciliate protozoa. It is also known as a cilia-containing amoeba. Yes, you get it, my love. But anyway, paramecia were among the first ciliates to be seen by microscopists. Get it? I mean, like, I think it was like Van Leeuwenhoek. I think he saw ciliates. Not sure. I think he saw ciliates. I feel like, yeah, no, I need to discuss this. Then, ciliates are characterized by the presence of hair-like organelles called cilia. Did I not say this like a little while ago to you? I don't even know what I was like trying to do here. Okay? Which are identical in structure to eukaryotic flagella. Now we're gonna come to flagella a little later, but keep that in mind. Cilia is typically shorter than flagella, present in much large numbers with different undulating pattern. What is undulating? I don't know. Okay? This is what a paramecium looks like. It looks like sandal to me, if you'd ask me. Okay, wait, let me show you what. Can I zoom it? Okay, that thing is a, what were we talking about? Paramecium, the one that looks like sandal, right? And so, we're talking about parameciums. They got pellicle, they got cytosol, they got food vacuole, they got cilia, they got something of a pore. I can't really read it because it's like small. They got, okay, this is very important. We're gonna talk about it like in a few moments. Micronucleus and macronucleus, and then they got like the sunflower thingy. It's called a contractile vacuole. Okay, now let's talk about its habitats. It's in freshwater, brackish, and marine environments, often very abundant in stagnant basins and ponds. Pretty much water bodies. Just think of water bodies. Okay, so unlike most eukaryotes, ciliates have two different sorts of nuclei. What? Anyway, what are the two different sorts of nuclei? We got micronucleus and we got macronucleus. So, micronucleus is used for reproduction. Yeah. Micronucleus, one way to remember that is swing that short wee out. I don't even know what I was saying. Okay, that's what I remember. Okay, like shut up. Okay, it's small, it's diploid, and it's micro. So micronucleus is used for reproduction, whereas we got macronucleus. Now this is for building stuff. This is large, polyploid, as in it's got like I think a lot of chromosomes. It's like not N. It's not 2N or N, like not haploid or diploid. It's got polyploid. So it's for biosynthesis and cell regulation, and generally building stuff. Now, paramecium, they do sexual reproduction, of course. Sexual reproduction by conjugation. Ashka, listen to this properly because you made this a mistake. Literally, the first line here says sexual reproduction, and you put asexual reproduction. Like, dude, just because you're asexual doesn't mean everyone is. But anyway, paramecium reproduce sexually by conjugation, which is very different from bacterial processes. It says very different, but I don't see it. But let me still explain, okay? Okay, so listen, okay? It's like a lot like meiosis. Okay, so we got my bro here and my sis here. I know I'm not trying to like genderize this whole thing, like the whole thing pink, and like my favorite color is blue. No, it's not. But anyway, it's blue. It's actually like I'm in the middle of favorite colors, but whatever. But I'm not trying to generalize this whole thing. But here we are. Okay, we got the big thing is macronucleus, and the green thing is micronucleus, right? So these two will like get together, and like their cell membranes will like get together, and then their macronucleuses are gonna get together, and then it's gonna separate, and each of them getting their own like micronucleus. Did I really write micronucleus fusion? Hold on, let me see. Oh my god. Okay, so the green one is actually macronucleus, guys. The big one is micronucleus. I'm so sorry for doing it like that, but like listen to me. The micronucleuses, they fuse, and then imagine, okay, so this is like that. Let me explain it in this like how like sexual things are done, right? So it's like the father and the mother, they like do the devil's tango, and then you're born, right? And, like after like their cells fuse and shit, right? But for this one, how the sexual conjugation of parameciums work is the fact that the mother and the father, they do the devil's tango, and then the cell fuses, and you're still not born. Like your birth can be delayed. Get it? Okay. So this is the thing. So they do go through mitosis. I'm just gonna read it to you here. During protozoan conjugation, two cells fuse, and a haploid nucleus, the micronucleus, from each cell migrates to the other cell. This haploid micronucleus fuses with the haploid micronucleus within the cell. The parent cells separate, each now a fertilized cell. Oh, that means like both the father and the mother, they can give birth. Period. Anyway, what is with you? When the cells later divide, they produce daughter cells with rDNA, aka my favorite robo-DNA, aka my favorite recombinant DNA. So, yeah. Then we got euglena. Euglena is also a protozoan. Yeah, of course. Fail. Yes, we're back, baby. But anyway, euglena is also a protozoan. It is an autotroph. wait, what kind of troph was protozoa? No, wait, hold on. Protozoas were... did not mention it. But anyway, Euglena is an autotroph. What is an autotroph, you might ask? I'm so glad you did. Autotrophs, they have... okay, I don't need to see the slides. Anyway, autotrophs, they get their energy from carbon source, and the carbon source being mainly carbon dioxide. Okay, so since they're autotroph, what else is autotroph? Ding ding ding, it's actually plants. So what? So autotroph is Euglena, autotroph is plants. Okay, they carry out photosynthesis. They are flagellates. Now remember flagella. Flagella is like a big ass tail or like a big ass hair. So okay, so cilia. Okay, I want you to imagine tuber. Okay, okay. See this? You see how Pikachu has like one hair, but you know, imagine that there are like more of these which like fled off. These are like small hairs right here. Okay, these are cilia, small hairs. So this is a ciliate. Whenever there's small hairs, there are like many hair. And then we got long hair like mine. So this is a flagella. Okay, even though like there's like plenty here, I want you to imagine one. There is only one. Like, you know, you see all of this is one, so that is a flagellate. That means I'm a flagellate. And cilia is like short but many. Flagella is like long but one, like less. Right? Just so it rhymes. Yeah, so I'm a flagellate. You know, anything that's got flagella, any organism that's got flagella is called flagellate, and any organism that's got cilia is called a ciliate. So what was a ciliate? A remigium. What is a flagellate? Euglena. What is the common ground, like what is the common thing between both of these? They're both protozoa. So the genus for Euglena is unicellular flagellate. Okay, Euglena. A quick recap. Euglena does photosynthesis because it's an autotroph. It is a protozoa. The genus is unicellular flagellate. Flagellate is an organism. Now, so that means it's got one or more whip-like organelles, aka flagella. Now, one thing about Euglena that is like very noteworthy is the fact that it doesn't have a cell wall. Dun dun dun. But anyway, it's got like no cell wall. However, it's got pellicle. Why does it sound like a duck? I feel like we had a glue brand named Pellicle once upon a time. Anyway, it's got pellicle, which is semi-rigid plasma membrane. What does this look like? What does this Euglena look like? Okay, it looks like this. It's not a sandal, but yeah, you get it. Just like Google the whole thing. So it's got pellicle. They move with their flagellum. They only got like one flagellum, and they move by the means of flagellum of the anterior end. Now, anterior end, I'm guessing it's like the back end, right? So we got that. What else do these Euglena got? Euglenoids, like most Euglenoids, they got red eye spots, red ass eyes, like, you know, Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. But anyway, at the anterior end. So does that mean it's got it with its tails? Like, are there red spots along with their tails? Okay. So imagine Kaneki has a tail instead of a nose. Okay, so what is this red spot doing? This red spot's got carotenoid. Yes, my love. Carotenoid's the same thing that, you know, we get in like carrots. So this carotenoid containing organelles senses light and directs the cell in appropriate direction. Now a quick link up. It's got red spots which are called stigma. Okay. So these stigma stimuli, they do carotenoid. Carotenoid means like light sensing shit. Light sensing shit means takes in light. What does takes in light do? What else does like take in light? Plants. What do plants do? Photosynthesis. What kind of people, like what kind of organisms do photosynthesis? Autotroph. Don't you know I want you so bad? But anyway, in the dark, what do euglena do? Euglena ingests organic matter through cytosomes. I have no idea what that means, but here we are. But anyway, cytosomes, they're photosynthesized. Next we got slime molds. Now, funny story. They act like moles. They ain't moles. Okay? So, moles are like fungi. So say sometimes like in their life cycles, they act like fungi, aka moles, but they're not moles. What are they? They are actually a kind of amoeba. They are protists that are like protozoa. What do you mean like protozoa? Didn't we just like write that it's like amoeba? Comment down below. What is it? Oh, also a big shout out to my bot fans. Like, I don't know. When did I get like such a big I don't know what are bots, but like Robo fan club. Thank you. Stop. But anyway, big fail. Slimy moles, they act like moles. So we got two, they're heterotrophs. They produce hyphae. Now, quick thing, hyphae, long filaments. Where do we find it? Fungi, moles. That's why they act like moles. So they produce hyphae. They're heterotrophs. What were heterotrophs? Heterotrophs were they use like carbon source from like reduced inorganic shit. But anyway, this is it. The two kinds of slime molds. One, we got cellular social amoeba. I feel like I'm just gonna make like a really inappropriate okay, shut up. No one judge me for this. Dictyostelium. This is the easiest way to pronounce. Shut up. So cellular social amoeba, Dictyostelium. These are typical eukaryotic cells. They resemble amoeba. They spend most of their lives as individual unicellular protists but when a chemical is secreted, like a chemical signal is secreted, assemble into clusters, acts as one organism. In the life cycle, cellular slime molds, the amoeboid cells live and grow by ingesting fungi and bacteria by phagocytosis. Example, Dictyostelium discoideum. Okay, now just to like yapify this for you real quick, this is like paramilitary, okay, or like spies around the world, sleeper cells around the world. Oh my god, this is so crazy. Okay, anyway, so they're like sleeper cells around the world, even though they're called like cellular social amoeba. Cellular. When I hear the word cell, you are gonna imagine like a prison cell, like the ones they give like the word for where how they just like isolate you from like the rest of the prisoners. Yeah, I'm imagining that. So cell. So they live like that for the rest of their lives, but they turn very social when there's like an attack. So it's like paramilitary, you know, they're just, or like, you know, like sleeper cells. They are just like living about their lives, but the moment they get like an instruction from their boss, they become like a bunch of guys working together for like something. So single cellular until it's time for attack. Make sense? Makes sense. Then we got acellular plasmoidal myxogastria. Please remember that properly. I'm going to say it again because I marked it with the stars. Acellular plasmoidal myxogastria. Okay. This is enclosed. Plasmoidal slime mold is enclosed within a single membrane without walls and one large cell. Just one. Enclosed within a cell membrane. Okay. It exists as like okay, so this is the one I'm talking about, like, you know, like the clumpy one, and the one that we just talked about, like the social ones are like that, like it's like a cough. Okay, acellular plasmoidal myxogastria enclosed within a cell membrane without walls and is one large cell. The plasmoidal slime mold exists as a mass of protoplasm with many nuclei. It is multinucleated. Okay? This mass of protoplasm is called plasmoidium. Yes. It exists as a mass of protoplasm. It is multinucleated. There's like protoplasm and a bunch of nucleus. That's it. And this like protoplasm, we call it plasmoidium. Okay? Their name derives from the lack of individual cell membranes from which a large multinucleate mass called plasmoidium is formed. There can be as many as 10,000 synchronously dividing nuclei within a single plasmodium. This supercell, now what is a supercell? A cell which has like around 10k nucleus. This supercell, syncytium, is essentially a bag of cytoplasm, okay? Cytoplasm containing thousands of individual nuclei. In simple words, like protoplasm and like sprinkles of like nucleus. That's it. Imagine a donut, but like gross, like the gross kind. And then, yeah, the other one I just explained. Okay. And we got algae. They're relatively simple eukaryotic photoautotrophs. Now let's talk about photoautotrophs. Phototrophs are photo as in light. Uses light energy source. And then we got autotrophs, which have like carbon source, like carbon dioxide. Okay. So algae is a photoautotroph which lacks tissues, aka roots, stem, leaves of plants. Now, what? Okay, just me, or like I'm talking about algae, but I'm imagining like amoeba. Is it not weird to you? It's weird to me. But anyway, algae. Algae, it's got no tissues, stems, roots, leaves. It's not there. The identification of unicellular and filamentous algae require microscopic examination. Example, diatoms. What's so funny? Algae could be algae could be multicellular. For example, brown algae. Most algae are found in the ocean. Okay, is algae a seaweed? Because like I'm literally imagining my cousin having like, you know, those like dried seaweed sheets. Yeah, anyway, okay. It can be multicellular, for example, brown algae. It can be unicellular filamentous algae like diatoms, and then we got so their cell walls are either made of cellulose and alginic acid. Now this is very like important. I feel like it. Alginic. So we got like two combinations, which is like cellulose and alginic acid, and then we got pectin and silica. Oh, we got three combinations actually. Okay. First is cellulose and alginic acid, then we got pectin and silica, and then we got only cellulose. For example, water molds. So let's talk about water molds, which is like a type of algae. So it converts organic stuff to biofertilizers. Water molds convert so algae again converts organic to biofertilizers, whereas water molds, it converts organic to toxic. Oh, I think they themselves get converted into that. But anyway, they're found in the surface of water, of fresh sources, and like moist soil. It's not soil, it's soil. Freshwater sources and moist soil. That means gada. They feed on decaying vegetation such as logs and mulch. Some water molds have produced devastating plant infections, including the Great Potato Famine, which was caused by Phytophthora infestans. Steven. Oh, I forgot. My friends used to joke about this so good. Okay. Phytophthora infestans, which caused peronosporales. Peronosporales. Okay. Then we got lichens. We're almost at the end. It's almost been an hour since I've been yapping. Wow, I need to get hydrated. Okay, we got lichens. Lichens are a combination of green algae or cyanobacterium and a fungus. Okay, it's a symbiotic mutualistic relationship. Now I want you to remember it's like it's really I wanted to say a toxic dating relationship, but it's really not. It's more like codependency, but it's like, you know, since it's like microorganisms, I guess that's why it's called symbiotic. Oh, Venom! Do think of Venom from Marvel. What's wrong with you? I guess he's a lichen, okay? Whatever. Okay, lichens are placed in kingdom fungi and are classified according to the fungal partner, most often ascomycete. The two organisms exist in a mutualistic relationship in which each partner benefits. The lichen is very different from either algae or fungus growing alone, and if the partners are separated, the lichen no longer exists. So it's like I want you to imagine like Venom and Eddie. I forgot. I think he was called Eddie. But okay, Eddie and Venom, whenever they're like doing like a combined action, they're like a different person altogether. So that is called like a lichen, right? And the lichen doesn't exist when like Eddie is separated from Venom, because it's like a combined personality. So lichen is very different from Venom, like Venom, and why did I say Venom? Okay, Venom as well as Eddie. It doesn't exist when they're separated. Lichens, because they can inhabit areas in which neither fungi or algae can algae can survive alone, lichens are often considered the first forms to colonize newly exposed soil or rock. So imagine Venom couldn't live in Mars, and neither could Eddie. But when they're together, they can live in Mars. Okay, also found on trees, concrete structures, and rooftops, lichens are some of the most slowest growing organisms on. Doesn't complete sentence. So, since two personalities getting together, Venom and Eddie getting together, they're gonna creating a new ass personality together. I mean, it takes time, because very different personalities. When you're gonna grow together, it's gonna be very slow, right? So there's that. Algae provides nutrients to fungi. When the algae is associated with fungus, the algae plasma membrane is more permeable, and up to 60% of the products of photosynthesis are released to the fungus or are found as end products of fungal metabolism. And algae receives protection from desiccation, cortex, and attachment rhizines from the fungus. Okay. Algae is Eddie. Fungus is Venom. Venom. Okay, so Venom likes chocolates. I haven't watched Marvel properly ever since the Great Depression of the She-Hulk last episode released. But anyway, as far as I remember, Venom likes chocolates. So Eddie's the one who buys the chocolates for Venom. So algae provides food and nutrients to the fungi. And whenever, remember how Venom was trying to set up Eddie in the first Venom movie, I think. Remember? With the girl, I forgot her name, but yeah. So the algae plasma membrane is more permeable, more social when with the fungus, and 60% of the products of photosynthesis are released to the fungus. So 60% of algae, Eddie's relationships are are talked to with when associated with venom, fungus, and the end products of, you get it. And algae receives protection, desiccation, cortex, attachment from fungus. Do I even need to explain this? Yeah? No. Okay? Types of lichens. Crustose lichens. Why did that remind me of Mr. Krabs? Wasn't he called Krabs? Mr. Krabs? The one in SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay. Types of lichens: crustose, pholos, and frutica. Okay. That's it. Lecture 11 all done. Best of luck for your exams. I should have done this before the exam. Earlier, and I should have said this for the video. This video is for self-revision purposes only. Any examples used are usually to make myself explain. For the aid of remembering, I really don't know if these are scientific properly. So please do your own research. Please do your own studying. Study from verified places. Do not listen to a random college kid on the internet. Anyway, thank you for watching. Comment down below if I've made any mistakes or the questions that I have.